everybody. Chris Alicia here. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to do something a little special for the rest of this month and into January. So there's been so much going on in the world right now, and it's really, really easy to get caught up in the craziness. So what I want to do is start doing a more regular podcast with the Ascended Warrior community in order to really pull us out of our heads. So before I get into what that's going to look like, I want to introduce you to Ascended Warrior. So Ascended Warrior is a spiritual community that I founded in order to target the warriors in our world, the military, the firefighters, the policemen, other people who have survived extreme trauma in their lives and come out on the other side stronger. Now, so many of us who have survived everything the world can throw at us are left with severe scar tissue to the point where we're not able to function the same way. We're not able to function how normal people would like us to function. We don't fit into the traditional world anymore. Well, Ascended Warrior is about embracing that. It's about embracing your warrior energy, embracing that militant side of yourself that maybe the world is not comfortable with, that maybe you're not comfortable with, and helping you to balance that to find out not only your place in the world, but how you connect to the world. And that's where the spiritual warrior comes in. So spirituality is not about religion. It's not about God. It's not about really what you believe in. It's your connection to self, your connection to other. What makes you passionate? What makes you want to wake up in the morning? Now, as warriors, we have learned to ignore our spirituality, to ignore our connection to the world in order to accomplish a mission. I know as a former Air Force veteran, the military does a wonderful job of disconnecting us from our spirituality, from even stopping us from thinking with that side of our being. We can't be spiritual beings and be effective soldiers. It's very much what we're taught, because we need to listen, we need to follow, we need to do. The feeling, the connection, those things are dismissed. They're really beaten out of us. So when we leave the military, we're now left with this severed connection to ourselves, to our spirituality, to our souls. But nobody addresses that. Nobody says, okay, now that you've left the military, here's how we're going to put you back together. We've broken you apart. We needed to break you apart in order to put you here. But now that you've left, we've got to put you back together. Nobody does that. If they do, it's in the smallest forms possible, the physical. Well, your body's broken, so I'm going to give you disability pay. That's great. I'm not knocking it. I'm on disability. I enjoy having help with my medical bills. Or the newer one that they're talking about all the time, the PTSD or the TBI. Yep. Sorry, we traumatized you. You've had some damage to your brain. You've got some now personality disorders. Here's a couple therapy sessions. Go with God. First of all, those are not enough. But second of all, that is not even scratching the problem, which is that we've become disconnected from who and what we are, which is what leaves us with so many demons to wrestle with. I don't know anybody who's come out of the military, the police force, the fire department, abuse, sexual, mental, otherwise, and they weren't facing demons, that they didn't carry those demons around almost like they had to. Like, yeah, I can't sleep. I'm in pain. I don't understand the world. The world doesn't understand me. I'm lost. No amount of physical therapy, no amount of PTSD therapy is going to reconnect you to yourself. Those are wonderful things. They're things that must be done, but it's still missing the element of spirituality. That is what Ascended Warrior is about. It's the other piece of that puzzle, because we're not just bodies and we're not just minds. We are souls. So the spiritual warrior is the person that has gone through that fire, who's gone through that crucible, and has come out the other end with that warrior mentality. That mentality that the world can knock me down as many times as it wants to, but I am stronger for it. I know who I am, I know what I am, and I know how I serve. It's an expression that I heard a long time ago that meant a lot to me as a spiritual warrior. So what I want to do with this podcast, which is a little bit different from most spiritual podcasts that you'll see out there, is instead of being geared towards the happy, lucky, unicorn side of spirituality, which is what most people think of when they think of spirituality, this is the grounded, this is the warrior energy. We are warriors. We are not meant to go out and play with unicorns and butterflies. We are here for a very different purpose. So what I want to do with this blog is, one, create a community of spiritual warriors, of people that identify with that warrior spirit, who are here to fight and to serve, and to give tips and tricks for how to help ground yourself back into your spirituality, help find your spirituality. You have learned to handle the suck. You have learned to run into that wall head first every single time you're told to. That's great. Now it's time to find out who you are, to find out what you are, and to release those demons. You don't need to carry around pain. You don't need to carry around depression. It's not a badge of honor. The badge of honor is the fact that you survived it. You're a warrior. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to be anything special. It's just who you are. So I'm going to come on here live a couple times a week and just talk about this stuff. Talk about some of the ways that spiritual warriors can embrace their warrior essence and release those demons. We're going to talk about mindfulness. We're going to talk about what spirituality is. We're going to talk about some of the leaders in the spiritual world that were warriors. For example, one of my favorites, Admiral McRaven, his book about his time in SEER training. If you just read it on the surface, those are great anecdotes. Make your bed every morning. It makes you feel accomplished. If you look a step deeper and look at it from a spiritual lens, from a connection lens, you're going to see he's talking about feeling an inner sense of accomplishment, getting in touch with who and what you are on the inside. And that's what I want to do every week, or a couple times a week. I'm not sure when I'm going to come on here. I work a lot. But I want to come on and just get the conversation started. We are not just physical beings. We are not just mental beings. We are spiritual beings. We are bigger than we're giving ourselves credit for. And I want to take that journey. And at the end of January, I'm going to be putting on a big workshop that will be free for anybody who's interested in joining. And I'll talk more about that as we go. That really merges everything that I'm talking about. The mindfulness, the spirituality, the different ways to help you feel strong again. We don't need to torture ourselves anymore. We don't need to suffer in silence. That's the past. This is the future. And if you are a spiritual warrior, I invite you to join me anytime you want. If you're watching the replay, you're watching it at the perfect time. If this is not for you, it's not for you. But I'm hoping to build a community of spiritual warriors who are interested in finding that fire within themselves and healing themselves from everything that they've gone through. Because it only made you stronger. All you got to do is release the demon side of it. So I'm Chris Alicia. I hope to see you live the next time I come on. If not, I hope you catch the reviews or the replays. And shout out to me anytime you want. If there's something specific that's on your mind, in your field, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. So until next time, happy holidays, everybody, and I'll be back soon.